Okay, hi, I'm Marissa and I'll be your counselor today. What would you like me to refer to you as?
Wayne's fine.
Okay, nice to meet you, Wayne.
Nice to meet you.
So today we're going to have a 15-minute interview, just kind of about whatever you want to talk about. I just want to let you know that everything we do talk about today is confidential and it's just going to be between me and you. And then if you do talk about hurting yourself or others, then I do have to talk to my supervisor about it. But besides that, it is completely confidential. Do you have any questions or anything?
No, thanks.
All right, so let's start by just, how about you just tell me what's going on?
With my job at Lear, when I first started the job, I liked it. Everything was going good. And now I've been there about a year and, well, almost 2 years, and not real happy with it. And I'm thinking about changing jobs. Just, and so I can tell you some of the things going on, but there's a lot of things going on I'm not real happy with.
Okay, how long have you been working there?
2 years, roughly.
Okay, so yeah, why don't you just start by just telling me what changed your mind? Why don't you like it anymore?
Well, some of the jobs I've done in the past were more organized, better managed. So I'm used to that, and working here, none of it is like that. I'm not happy with it, and I told my boss that he understands. But the management mostly I don't like. It's a very unorganized place. It stresses me out, and I'm not happy with it.
Okay, what would you say is unorganized about it?
It's more like a good old boys club versus there's no discipline. Everybody's kind of on like a friend basis. Um, our boss doesn't care. You address something to him, he just doesn't care. He just stays in his office, and then if you do get him to do something, he'll come out on the floor and just basically walk away from the problem. He won't address anybody with the problem, but he'll act like he's doing something just because he came out onto the floor. I've watched him, and I don't. So I just waste my time whenever I address anything to him. It's like he doesn't care. So nothing's ever going to change. So it's better for me just to find a new job.
So it sounds like you're pretty frustrated then.
Yeah, real frustrated, stressed out. And like I said, I'm used to an organized. Being in the military 11 years, everything was organized. The leadership was good, the management, and it's nothing like that where I work. So that makes me very unhappy.
Okay, well, it sounds pretty normal. You being frustrated because it kind of sounds like what you're saying is your boss doesn't really care about anything. He doesn't care about the issues you guys bring up. You don't seem to have a very organized workplace or anything, and it just seems like with you being in the military, you'd like something more structured. Okay. So if it was up to you, what would you do today? Like, what would be your plan to? It sounds like you want to move away from
Well, my
working
plan,
there.
my plan would be just to find a job where it's normal. I mean, you go to work, people listen, it's organized. Just a normal, functional place is all I'm asking for, and it's not that difficult. And this is the worst place I've ever worked for, so that's why I don't want to stay there anymore. I've worked a few jobs, like I said, being in the military 11 years, in the foundry 11 years. I did some auto body business or work, and it was all organized. The boss cared. When you had a problem, it was addressed, and it was, they would work on it, do something about it, and the people, even the people there are a little different, but that's not my problem. But it does fall into a it does kind of make it a factor too of leaving some of the guys there. But anyway, so um, yeah, it's just very unorganized.
Okay, well, so it sounds like what you're looking for in a job is something very structured and very organized. You can go and get your work done and then just leave like any ordinary job.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so what is it? I mean, what kind of job are you looking for? How are you gonna
Well,
go about that?
nothing in specific. I just want to do well, another factory job's fine. I'll probably end up either going to Walker's or Millhaven, and just hoping that it's a more organized place, normal. And I do know what normal is only because I've worked a few normal jobs and I liked them. Um, so I would like to find another job that's, you know, going to make me happy.
Okay. So, how are you gonna go about doing that? I mean, is there any desired like approaches you're gonna take to getting this new job, or?
No, I'm just going to try something new. I'm going to go to Walker's, apply, and hopefully like it, or go to Millhaven and apply and hopefully like it. I mean, I'm just looking for something a little more uh, organized. Like I said, unorganized things really stress me out, and it's not that hard to work for an organized place. And I just need to try something different.
Okay. Well, I've heard you say multiple times you want your job. You want a normal job. So I don't know if you could just clarify for me what that means. I know you've talked about it being organized, but is there anything else that would make a job more normal for you?
I just want to go to work and know exactly what needs to be done. And when I have a problem, I would just like it addressed. Or even if we have a lot of people in the building that have problems, but like I said, it's more like a good old boys club, and none of the problems are addressed. So just that's about all I can say about normal. Just a 9 to 5 job where you go and you know exactly what needs to be done, you get it done, and if you have a problem, you get it addressed. And I mean that's what I call normal. I mean,
Okay. Well, going back to you saying you would apply at Walker's or Millhaven or whatever these other jobs are you want to pursue, have you thought about how you are going to end your position at Lear? Have you tried talking to your boss or anything, or how are you
yes, I
going to go
already have.
about that?
I talked to Dale about it already. I told him I had a meeting with him, and I told him it was the worst place I've ever worked for. And like I told you, I've told you some of the jobs I've worked. I told Dale it's the worst place I ever worked for, and that I'm going to be leaving. Um, I'm going to leave ASAP. Now I'm going to stay till June because my ESOP, I'm going to get a. If I stay, we're in an employee-owned company, so I'll get money if I finish out my time, which will come up in June. So I'm going to hang on till June, and then I told him I'm going to put my 2 weeks in. Um, and if it takes a little longer, 2 weeks, they don't care. But he's already offered me money to stay. He wants me to stay, but I told him I don't want to, and I probably won't. I maybe down the road if things got better, which I mean June's roughly 6 months away. If things did get better, I would maybe consider staying, but it's not about the money. And he's offered me money. He's offered me probably everything that he could to try to get me to stay, but that's not doing it right now because I don't like working for a place. I shouldn't go into work and not like it. I want to enjoy my life. I'm 43. I want to go to work every day and be happy. Get out of bed and be happy. I like to work. I want to feel like, I want to go to work. I like to work. I don't like getting up going, oh man. So I don't know. Um, Dale already knows. I've told him. I'm sure he's going to probably come up with some other options to get me to stay. And as of right now, I don't think there's anything he can do to get me to stay. So, but yes, I've already talked to him about it.
Okay, so it sounds like you've already addressed that. You're kind of already in that first step of your plan of wanting to get out of there. And it also sounds like your boss doesn't really want you to leave, but you're just not happy, so there's pretty much nothing he could offer you to keep you there almost.
Yes, as of right now, no, there's
Okay.
nothing. I mean, like I said, I want to be happy, and so far what he's offered isn't gonna cut it. So
So if you're weighing out maybe the pros and cons of leaving your job or staying, I mean, have you tried looking at that? Or are you just pretty determined on
yes, I
just.
have. I've weighed. I'm a thinker. I just don't. I try to make decisions. Yeah, I think about it before I went to Dale's office. I really thought about it, but yeah, I've weighed the good and the bad, and so far nothing's. It's mostly negative. So I I wish there was more positive, but there's not.
Okay. So, I mean, you've kind of told me all about the negative things. It sounds basically like you're just not happy. That's something you're looking for right now. It's not structured. I mean, it's the people can be kind of, I don't know, maybe irritating or frustrating. It sounds almost like your relationship with your boss is kind of a good relationship. I don't know, with how it sounds, with how he wants you to stay and everything, or
Well, my boss
what's
and I get along great. When I went into the office, he told there's roughly 30 people in our shop, and then there's we're the walking division, and then if you go over to the merchandiser division, there's probably a good 50 over there. But anyway, we have about 30 people. When I went into the office, he told me the people, and a boss probably shouldn't say that, but he told me the people that he liked, and it was I was one of them, and he named Paul, Eric. It was me, Paul, Eric, and there was one more, John. I think there was three or four of us he named, but I was one of them that he named that he liked. So him and I get along great, but um, he's not management material. He's just not. From what I've seen, what I know, um, he's just not. He does a good job at what he does, but he's not a good manager.
okay? Well, if we want to go back to talking about maybe your plan for the future and everything, you've mentioned applying at Walker's, was it?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of drew you there?
I've heard a lot about walkers through friends, and the pay's better. The work is pretty much the same. What I'm doing now, it's all factory work, but it's grinding and welding, which I like to do. The conditions are better, and hopefully the people and the management and the organization, however you say it, is better. Talking to people, I haven't heard anything bad, but talking about Lear on the outside of work, a lot of negative things, way more negative things than positive things. Walkers, hardly anything negative, which is good. And the same with Millhaven. I haven't heard a lot of bad things. I've heard more good things, and it's what I'm looking for. Um, and like I said, the more you talk about Lear, I don't know of anybody that's positive about Lear, which is too bad, but that's just the way it is. So.
Okay, you've talked about talking to your friends and whatnot. Have you tried talking to someone directly from there, like someone maybe in that management position? Because that's what you mentioned as something being important, what you're looking for.
No, I haven't talked to anybody in management. I'm just going off of people that I know from the area because I've been in the area for a long time, most of my life. So I know everybody. This because work's only 10 minutes from here, so I know everybody within the immediate area. And I talk to a lot of people, and I'm just going off of what they say. I mean, I'm gonna have to find out for myself. But no, I haven't really talked about management at all. I probably should. But I'm sure with talking to these people that would come up because they hear what I say about Lear. And I'm sure what I'm saying about Lear is that if I'm saying, if I tell them how Lear is and then they say the same thing about Walkers, of course I wouldn't consider going either or. But overall, what I hear is just much better than where I'm at.
Okay, so you've looked at the strengths of working maybe for walkers. You did mention like talking to your friends about it. Do they work there, or do they just kind of know from?
Yes, I have. I don't. I have a real good friend that I used to know from high school who works for the Walkers in New Lisbon, and he's a good source. I know he wouldn't lie to me, be honest with me, so that's a good thing. Um, but yeah, he's and there's a couple other guys that work there from Boston that have said good things about it, and nothing negative, which is good. And everybody, like I said, that I talked to about Lear, it's just all negative. So um, I don't mind the work, and I like to work, but it just stresses me out too bad.
Okay. Well, so if some of your friends work there, would you be working with them?
And not that I know of, because I know both places are pretty big and they hire a lot of employees. No, they couldn't guarantee me, or I'm not guaranteed to see or work with any of them.
Okay. Well, I know you. So it sounds like you kind of have a good plan already. But you've mentioned staying at Lear, the job that doesn't make you as happy until June,
Yes.
was it?
Hmm.
So what is it you're gonna do now, just so you're kind of not stuck in that going to work and just being like obviously not being happy going to work. Like, what are some things you could do now while you're kind of almost stuck working there to make it better for yourself?
Some of the things I just learned to be, hopefully in June I do leave. I just learned to just try to, be positive. And I know it's only, I'm not going to be there much longer, but I've just learned to let a lot of things go. Like, um, I'll do what I can. I'll still put in 110%. And if and I've eliminated a lot of the stress just by knowing that I'm not going to stay there. But I still do a good job. I still put in 110%. I still show up every day. But just knowing that I'm not going to be there much longer, it makes me a lot happier. And then I'm just going to bear and grin it because, that's the type of person I am. Um, but I've let a lot of things go at work that I used to worry about. But now that I know that I'm not going to stay there, I don't really care anymore. So that's the way I've kind of addressed the problem.
Okay. Well, we are getting short on time. We are approaching that 15-minute mark. So, I just kind of want to go over what we talked about today. Basically, we talked about your job. You're working at Lear right now. You're not happy there. They don't have the structure you need. The people aren't easy to work with. And you're almost just frustrated. You don't like going to work anymore, being there. Um, and it sounds like you have a really good plan already. You're just going to kind of stay positive at work and do the best you can, but also maybe still address those things that could be worked on there so then they do know for when you leave. Maybe they can make it a better workplace. Um, would you be willing to meet again maybe in a couple weeks just to see how work's going for you still?
Sure. Yeah, we could weigh the good and the bad.
Okay, so it sounds like you have a really strong plan, so that's good. Just stick with that and kind of go through with that, and then just keep that positive mindset. Do you have any questions or comments?
No. Okay.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
thanks for meeting with me today.
Thank you.